Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? And this is a little bit of a last-minute emergency stream because I didn't think I'd be doing 2 streams today. I've already done one. I thought I was done with streaming for today, but I have had to schedule this one with 5 whole minutes of notice because today it was announced that Liam Cooper is no longer remaining at Leeds United. Now, hello, Gareth. Hope you're well as well. And it's okay. And yeah, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. But we discovered a little bit earlier today. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so I don't have the very weird trend of they're eating the dogs showing up, which I can't get rid of anyway, but that's completely fine. Forever our promotion-winning captain, Liam Cooper, has today announced that he will take up an opportunity overseas. Liam will always be welcome at Elland Road and will go down in history as one of Leeds United's greatest ever captains. And then I believe there's a slightly longer statement that we're going to go through and discuss a little bit, and then we'll just have a little bit of a chat about the past of Liam Cooper. Hello, Carol. How are you doing? Hopefully this isn't the entire statement. That would be a bit sad. But Liam Cooper leaves Leeds United. Leeds United can confirm Liam Cooper has left the club to take up an opportunity overseas following the expiration of his contract. That expired back in, I believe, June. And he's now free to sign for whoever he wants to, which completely fair. Sure. I've just realised I'm not sharing the correct tab at the moment. Why did it open a new one? I don't know. The 33-year-old joined the Whites in 2014 and became a hugely popular and influential member of the squad on and off the pitch at that time. He began his long-standing association with the club, joining from Chesterfield, with Leeds playing in the Championship. Just 3 days after signing, he made his first of many appearances, almost 300, in a 1-0 win over Borough. And then a few months into the season, he got the armband, became the captain, and here we are. Liam Cooper captaining Leeds United for a very long time. First goal was against Blackpool. Go for it. I would happily score against Blackpool, despite the fact I live here. In the form of a memorable left-foot half volley from the edge of the box. We saw 31 more appearances that season. Hello, Sean. Yeah, I mean, one of those players that's good to have around the dressing room, but I don't know if you would have got minutes, and I don't think it's fair to stop someone getting minutes when we're at this point of their career, which is, yeah, very late in said career, so I completely get it. Back again, indeed, this time with less of a fun theme for the stream. Mid-table finished in 2017-18. He further captained the side, scored, and then Marcelo came. And then the madness began. Playoff heartbreak, did plenty well. The next season, up we come. Liam Cooper as one of the 2 core centre-backs alongside Ben White, who is now a more controversial figure, considering the fact that he apparently doesn't like playing for England, but sure. And there's always that image of Cooper lifting the championship trophy. Right here. Sadly, empty stadium. But, yeah. This happened, by the way, during a stream yesterday, where I was like, cool, could do with another mod, just to be safe. Because it was the one where I discussed the ban and stuff. But that doesn't matter right now. What matters is this. Where are we? Big commitment to our field activities provides plenty of food for children, which is very important in my opinion. Internationally recognised, plenty of call-ups for Scotland, plenty of caps for Scotland. Return to action for the Whites in the Premier League. Captains in the Premier League, doing so in a victory over Fulham at home. 25 appearances in that first season, and then things started going a little bit bad. And this is what important. What important? This is what is important to me. He helped change the fortunes and culture of the club and had a monumental impact. Always welcome at Elland Road, going down as one of the greatest ever captains. Thanks for everything, Skip. It's this bit that, in my opinion, matters a hell of a lot. Because some people will deny this or say that he wasn't fantastic, whatever. He was. at the end of the day, he's the captain that got us promoted. He was the dressing room leader when we had Marcelo Bielsa. He wasn't necessarily someone that was going to lead the dressing room for the squad. Bielsa was always someone that would be present, but he wouldn't be like that man-to-man kind of guy. That was Liam Cooper's job, and on the personal level, he was a big part of getting that squad promoted. He was a big part of getting the people to where they need to be. And that matters, you know? It's mad to think we lost Ayling, Dallas, and Coops in the last 2 years. Yeah, it's a big lot of people to have lost, which sucks. And I hope he gets a testimonial, but it's going to be very, very hard to organise, considering a lot of those players that were here in his heyday aren't footballers anymore. And it would need to be something that happens probably next summer. It depends on what his contract looks like with his new club, because it's not something that you can just podge together, as much as it would be nice if you could. Is that going to work? I've zoomed in a little bit on his Instagram post. Shit, it's long. To the best in the land, after 10 years, 7 as your captain, it's time to say goodbye. He had one ambition, and that was to leave the shirt in a better position than when he arrived. He did that, in my opinion, without a doubt. No question about it. We're in a better place right now than we were under Cellino. There we go. We soon forget the average player's fact of life. The question is, was he an average player? Because quality, maybe you can make that argument. But at the same time, impact, not average in the slightest. Impact was incredible. Thanks to Marcelo and his staff. Relationship with Bielsa is well documented. Like thanks all the managers that work with him, but especially Bielsa. Thanking all the coaches, physios, backroom staff. Some people read into this bit, by the way. Hold on. This bit. I don't think that's going to be a dig on any of the other managers, but I know that there will be people that read it that way. It's not meant that way, I believe, but some people will read into those things. Need to thank all the coaches, physios, backroom staff. They've become more than colleagues. They've become friends. They help drive and maintain the standards. He's played with so many players, far too many to mention by name, but special mentions to Bill, Clicky, Adam, Forshaw would be my guess. Pat and DJ, who he shared amazing moments with and now unbelievable friendships. The promotion team is probably the best team I've ever been involved with. A team built on pure hard work and humility. The weight of the shirt is very heavy, but we put aside before self and came together to achieve something special with memories that will last forever. Good God. I also have to mention one man in particular who's been by my side through everything. Stu, like Dallas, I imagine, was equally a big part of that leadership. The bond between us lives beyond football. It was an honour to share some of the best days of my career together with him. He showed me the way all too many times, and I'll never forget that. To the fans, yes, you lunatics and the heartbeat of our great club, your unwavering support to myself and the boys meant everything. You'll never know how much you drive the players on. My only sadness looking back is not getting to lift the title at Elland Road. He leaves the club proud of what they achieved. He was never perfect, but he tried to represent the club with dignity and modesty at all times. Met some individuals in the community over the last 10 years from all walks of life, appreciating every one of us. That was a fun hiccup. Sorry about that. For making him a better person and proving far and wide that something is more important than football. He's moving on to a new chapter somewhere abroad. We don't know where yet. But yeah, I very much would like to see him back at Elland Road to say ta-ra at some point. But we don't know how doable that's going to be. As I move on to the next chapter, I'll look back and be proud, but also hungry for more. Stay loud, stay proud. See you in the terraces. Good luck to Daniel, his staff, and Ethan and the boys for the rest of the season. When that train starts, it's hard to stop. On behalf of myself and my family, thank you all for everything. Memories we'll cherish forever. That's made me sad. That's upsetting. But on this one, I agree that we don't necessarily need a poll, but I do, as a rule of thumb, quite like to run a poll. So I think if someone can think of an idea for a poll, we'll chuck one up. Something that could be a good question, maybe not too divisive, but that people can get involved in, that'd be fantastic. May not have been a great player, but he was a great captain, made him a better player. Yeah, exactly. I mean, being a good footballer isn't just about your technical skill, it's about your person skills. And that counts for something, you know? Thank you, by the way, Carol, for becoming a YouTube member. That is really appreciated and helps the channel, especially through these slightly nightmare international break times. So thank you for doing so. And thank you, Big Gay L, for some reason. It is a South Park character. I can't remember if I've seen any of those episodes. I stopped thinking South Park was funny when I was like 13, though, to be fair. CSKS Sofia in Bulgaria. Really? I do like that question, by the way, Danny. So I'm going to ask that one. Have we underrated Liam Cooper as a fan base? Yes. And then we rate him pretty accurately as an option. Just because I think it's sort of fair to have all the options available. Made his debut at Hull, age 16. I don't know if he did develop a bozo gene, though. Because, I don't know. It's very harsh to say. Let's have a quick look. Some of the numbers, because I know the numbers aren't necessarily important, especially when it comes to someone that did big leadership bits. But we can't forget that he was a very, very, very big part of the club for a very, very long time. So having a look at I think it's less bozo gene or whatever you're saying, and more injuries happening, to be completely honest with you. Because he didn't get to play that much in the 22-23 season, which is when he turned 30 because of injuries. Last season, he didn't play much either. Yeah. Like, even when we think recent years, a lot of people will say, well, he's not been that good last season, for example. I think it's a little bit harsh to say that, because at the end of the day, last season, that very first match against Cardiff, where we drew, I think, 2-2, Coop scoring that goal is what sets us on the track to getting anything out of that game. Because it's not going to be an easy match to do something in. Because coming back in your first match in the Championship and saying, look, we're going to stamp our authority here, is tough. And you need someone that's been in that situation before to do that. And the fact is, Cooper was that guy. Cooper was someone who would be able to pop his head above the parapet and always say, look, we need to do better here. And if you don't have a captain that is willing to say that, then what are you doing? You're just going to struggle. You're just going to end up in a cycle that doesn't end well. And without that leadership, I don't think we go up in that second season, because, ow, that hurt. Because one, in that Championship season, he played 38 of the matches. Stupid amount of football. I'm going to have a look at that specific squad, actually, and see who else got minutes at centre-back, because I genuinely can't remember. Ayling did a little bit there. Berardi did a little bit there. Ow. Pascal Struijk got a total of 218 minutes. So, he played a shitload of football in that season. Ow. And had a huge impact at the same time. And him being aware of those two bits meant that he was able to sort of have that impact. Because he knew what it was like in the Championship. And then when we came back to the Championship, he was someone that was like, right, okay, cool. One, if you don't want to be here, fuck off. The perfect line for the start of that season, because it meant that the people that were here were invested, and it was great. And that was very quickly followed by that goal that he scored and his presence in the dressing room, which will have been a hell of a lot more than we're like willing to pay attention to. Because odds are he could have left earlier than this. There will have been plenty of opportunities. If I remember right, someone was interested from Saudi Arabia at one point. And it's like, if you really want to chase the bag, you can chase the bag real easy in football. Rodrigo found his way to Qatar, for Christ's sake. And he's not going to be on minimal money. And I feel like if he just wanted a shit ton of cash for the rest of his career, he could have had that, and he decided to not, because of what Andy said, he was a loyal servant to the club. Without a doubt. And on this one, that's true. And I do think it is the right time for him to move on because I don't know if we're going to see him get any minutes, even if he were to stay. But he can still be sad about it, you know? I'm a little bit curious, by the way, who it was that said he's overrated. Because I don't think right now there's anyone that rates Liam Cooper's footballing ability as especially high. Like, I think he's fairly adequately rated as he is now. But I'd be interested to hear whoever's had that take and what their opinion is on that one. Is he the longest serving captain? Jesus. Hang on, that might be something that's on LUFC data, so I can double check it. Or it's in the statement and I've missed it somehow. These are awful stats. Cool. I'll ignore that then. As a player as overrated, that's the thing. I don't know if he is. Because there's no one that's saying on ability alone Liam Cooper should have been forcing his way into the side last year. No one's been advocating for him to start. That's why I wouldn't say he's overrated, because no one's particularly highly rated him recently. Because you're looking at an entire package when you're looking at a player, because you can't have ability on the pitch at the same time as not having the leadership, or you can't have the leadership without being on the pitch, and the two balance out. So I think as a leader, underrated. On the pitch, honestly, adequately rated. Because no one's hugely hugely rating the guy, you know? But I don't know. Brand knows the show, yeah. I can't find the specific numbers, but I'll believe you. One sec. Cool. Everyone thank Coops for his loyalty to this great club of sport. 38 years in the age of 5. Yes, he wasn't the silkiest of footballers, but he led by example. Yeah, he was always someone that, like, when he was on the pitch, you knew he'd give a shit. That's what you need. At Leeds United, by the way, I'm going to look all competitions. In all competitions for Leeds, he played 281 matches. Although, yeah, the thing said 284, so I think FBref might be missing a couple, but it's hard to say. Interested to see how the new leadership group handles the running. Quite young, don't know if they've got the leadership skills. Thoughts? Whilst they're young, and I do recognise that, I've got to find out who exactly is in said leadership group, actually. Because I know it's Ampadu. With Strauch and Melier. Cool. So, duplicate that, duplicate that. Yeah, on this one, they've got fuck tons of experience. I've got to open a page for Ethan Ampadu. I'm going to open a page for Strauch. And I'm going to open a page for Millier. Yeah, I mean, we're very clearly not sensible. We still support Leeds United. So let's get our stuff together. Right, on this one. Okay, so Melier has started 165 games for Leeds United in the league alone. So I've got to switch this to all competitions for all three of them, and we'll see which order they pop up in. But at Leeds United alone, 177 starts. Ethan Ampadu, admittedly, played only 56 for Leeds, But in total, 178 games of football. Under his belt at the age of 23, 24 in 2 days' time. Pascal Struijk, 126 matches played for Leeds. That's a lot of experience. That's a lot of football between those players, and that's a lot of knowing what to do in difficult scenarios, because they've dealt with difficulty. These players have been through the shit. They've been promoted, they've dealt with a season of Premier League football. I'm talking Struijk and Meslier in this case. They've dealt with the bad side of Premier League football, and they've done the Championship again. And you need to keep in mind that these players aren't only picked by Daniel Farke. That's important to note as well, because it's at the same time a matter of, well, what's going on with the squad, what the squad dynamics looking like, because he's not just going to go eeny, meeny, miny, Yampaveda. No, that'd be stupid, because it's going to include the way that the squad feels, and it'll effectively be a case of the squad already feels like Ampadu, Struijk, and Meslier are leaders in the dressing room. So I trust that. I'm not going to be too mad at that. Yeah. This is something that's forgotten as well, right? He did well, but as I said, his injuries cost him big time. He tried his best. That's what counts, in my opinion. No one is actively like, might just get injured right now. That's not a thing. What is a thing is someone that shows up whenever they are fit and does everything they can. And in the case of Liam Cooper, destroying his knee in the first match of last season in an attempt to get us back into a match against Cardiff on the first match of the season. That's the investment you would get. It was the same for Stuart Dallas, who flew into a challenge, injured himself, ended his career in an attempt to bring us back into a game. That's what you're looking for, which matters, I think, at the very least. Americans hate losing, even college teams. They'll get Leeds to the Premier League. They love money. That's where the money is. Red Bull earns high sense. A lot of what people said over the summer was it's a cash grab, or it's an asset strip, or they'll just pull out words that don't actually mean anything in this context. And realistically, you know that no club owner is going to make a profit when the club is in the Championship, right? You know that. Like, the club is worth less money down here. And the way that 49ers Enterprises make money on this is they bought the club that was getting relegated, so at less than its probable value. And if we get promoted, brilliant. Club's worth more, they can likely sell a profit. That's not short term. And whilst, yeah, nobody buys a business to lose money, they don't make money in the Championship. So whilst people are like, yeah, well, they're not going to invest, they're just going to sell the good players and make money that way, they don't make money that way, because clubs are run at huge losses in the Championship. No matter who you're selling, you're not making that back through player sales 99% of the time. This I'd agree with as well. The ridiculous, insane, 100% intensity bollocks. This is going to go into a little bit of a tangent, but it needs to be said. Right. So, Stuart FB ref, and we'll have a look. Right, so at that point of the season, Dallas had played for us 3.5 thousand minutes. And at the very end of April, when the club was already... Let's have a look. When did Stuart Dallas come off? Club were 1-0 down against Man City. Odds are you're not pulling that one back, are you? Realistically. Let's be sane about this. And that persistence in the, "Yeah, but it's gotta be heavy metal football all the time," fly into challenges thing. Stupid. Mental. And it led to what is an injury that killed someone's career at the end of the day. And I genuinely think kinda ruined us for the next season as well. Because we have Stuart Dallas in that 3rd Premier League season, I think we got a little bit more of a chance. Because we've got an incredibly versatile, very talented player that hasn't shattered his leg flying into a useless tackle against Jack Grealish. And it's just dawned on me how pissed off I am at how that entire thing happened. Madness. Don't understand it. And even then, players like Cooper in the dressing room will have made sure that we didn't get relegated that first time round. Will have made sure that everyone was pushing towards the same goal because it's way too easy for people to get a bit fragmented and things to fall apart in a dressing room. And for Coops to be in a situation where he's like, everyone just keep it together and we'll stay up. People have talked about how important Liam Cooper was to that. And that's why decent leadership is important, you know? Nice to root to Cooper from the club. I've not seen the video. I'm not watching the video on stream. That'll be an after stream job. Just because A, I feel like when I'm reacting to videos and stuff on a stream, I kind of force myself to do reactions differently to I normal do. It's not even conscious. It's like subconscious. It's a do an entertaining thing. And also, I don't want to get copyright stricken again. So let's be sensible. Also because he hired Jesse ruined Dallas. There is that, yeah. But at the same time, also hired Bielsa. So Bielsa kind of made Dallas look good. It's tough. Tackle that happened to Dallas could have happened to any player. That's true, but it happened to Dallas, so I'm going to be saltier about it. And I'm going to stay salty. Especially since it ended his career. Like, not happy. I don't know. And at the same time, I'm kind of sad that we're going to be losing Coops. I'm trying to think of specific like memories of Liam Cooper that are coming to mind. But so much of it is just everything about that promotion season. And what I'm going to probably do, I'm going to watch the Amazon documentary and I'm going to feel sad. Because whilst there are a lot of people that are like, whatever, we can't like grasp onto the past, going full The Last Jedi, like, let go of the past. Or we recognize it, you know? We recognize the past and go, that was what was really important to us. And that was great. This feels like someone who has not been in the ground with Coop's captaining. And if it has, you might be partially deaf. This is probably the best of moments as well. Yeah, because it made sure that all the Lone Rats actually left, which is good. And then Aronson came back. But you know what? That's because he's learned things. He's learned a lesson. On this one, I feel like that's something that's coming further down the line, but in their shoes, if you're feeling like you want to move into like a managery thing at some point in your career, what you don't want to do is end your playing career earlier. Because that would have been a bad idea. Because then you don't get all the football that you want. Because if you're doing something that you absolutely adore for a living, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. It's going to be sad. And whilst that transformation into coaching is something that a lot of players will do, I imagine it's still not the same as playing. Oh, imagine just teaching Bielsa ball. Oh, delicious. I think Dallas's general direction is going to be coaching. That's the feeling that I get. Coops, maybe the same for Ayling. Ayling feels like he has like punditry in him, that sort of direction. Yeah, he didn't do quiet, and that was a good thing because you had someone to sort of marshal the defense around. You had someone that was taking charge a lot of the time. So just this take is very baffling to me. It's confusing. And Barodi and Pablo, we can't just rebuild the Bielsa side as a coaching squad. It's not going to work. Especially since I think Pablo moved more into ownership, didn't he? Off the top of my head. But what I am going to do is I recognise that I've already done a stream today. I recognise that I am a very tired boy, and a lot of the things that I'm likely saying might not make a ton of sense. So I'm going to ping you over in the general direction of someone that is going to be making significantly more sense. The plan was to stream until Baby Zebra streamed. However, that's at like 6 p.m. because I lost track of days, which is a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a redirect over to a far more able to speak Joe. And if y'all could go over there and maybe shout a pigeon raid or something, that'd be fantastic. Even like a Joe B raid. Let's return to having a name. That'd be good. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You could even become a channel member. That's always really appreciated too. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. Toodaloo.